Happy Wednesday, everyone. How are you doing on this amazing midweek Wednesday? And those who are local with me here in Michigan, I really do hope that you are okay with the little storm that kind of blew through this afternoon. And I heard that that was only the beginning. So I hope you out there, if you lost power, I'm hoping that you get your power back soon. And I am hoping for those who didn't lose your power, if we do get round two, that you do not lose your power this evening. Because I definitely had some prayers up to make sure I didn't, because I knew we were going to have a phenomenal conversation this evening here on Get to Know Bob, this amazing platform where we feature some awesome Bobs that are doing amazing things within our community. And I just want to say thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Sonia M. Weaver, and let's us get started. So just to let you know, I had a pretty laid back weekend. I just needed some rest. And I didn't really do too much connecting like I normally do on the weekend, but I will tell you this. I did connect with my phenomenal cousin, who is the phenomenal founder of Divine Diva Designs. And as you know, Divine Diva Designs is one of my all-time fave when it comes to custom design gifts. Of course, my t-shirts are done by Divine Diva Designs, but I have my doormat that's on my porch. I have my mouse pad that's right here. Have my what are they called? Those cup things, coasters. The coasters for my tables, any unique designs. And I have given gifts across the years ever since she decided to start her company, and they have never disappointed thus far. So I'm telling you, Divine Diva Designs is definitely a business that you should be supporting here. They have our seal of approval. Yes, they do. And so, like I said, I kind of had just a laid back time getting prepared for the upcoming week and different things. So I want to let you guys know what our deal of the day is, and we are definitely going to be supporting Dr. Eddie Connor's Access Identity Conference. I'm like, I was gonna say crisis. I had to catch myself. Access Identity Conference. What is wrong with my tongue today? Okay. So yes, because I cannot attend, I am giving away my ticket. So yes, and his new book. So I'm going to add to that. I want you to be like, okay, it's an afterthought because she can't go. I'm telling you, I'm so bummed I can't be there. Because let me tell you, if you don't know the lineup, OMG. So phenomenal people just from here, right? You have Hill Harper. He's going to be speaking. He's running for Senate for our state of Michigan. He's an actor, all of these philanthropists, all these great things. But then, of course, you have my big sis, mentor, phenomenal Gail Perry Mason is talking. You have the phenomenal speakers all across. And I don't want to start naming names. I'm going to really leave people out if I kind of do that. But the lineup is just off the chain. You really, really need to be in a place. And those that are even not speaking, the ones who are just attending, this is level 10 networking opportunity. You really need to be in the house and attending this conference. And let me tell you, if you need to know some more about Dr. Eddie himself, make sure you go on to YouTube. Yes, and subscribe while you're there. Go onto YouTube. On Thursday, May 25th, we had a conversation with Dr. Eddie, and he did not disappoint. You will get to know him firsthand. So make sure you check out that information. And how do you get the tickets and the book? First, you must be a subscriber to our YouTube channel. And then you can comment on this show, comment on our social media, send us a DM, email us, whatever you need to do. All you have to do is tell me, Sonia, I want access. And we will put you in the running for being drawn to get that ticket to be at the Access Identity Conference. And we thank those who have already started to send us the information because we announced it first last week. We truly appreciate you. So yeah, we're excited. Somebody's about to get that win. I love when people participate. So maybe it was just the simple free thing. All you have to do is tell me, Sonia, I want access. I'm telling you, however you get that information to me, we will put you in the drawing. But first, of course, you have to be a subscriber to our YouTube channel, and it's just that simple. So I am like really, really stoked that you guys are that engaged. It just warms my heart, because it makes me say that you've taken the pledge. Remember, our pledge is to support Seven Bob's Am I here? Am I back? Okay, I got lost. I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. But hey, I'm gonna go roll with the punches and let's see. Let me get us back on track wherever we was at. I was talking about the weather and the conference and everything, and then all of a sudden, I think I lost you guys. But hey, it is what it is. We're still on track, and I know what it is. See, somebody was trying to get me off track because I was talking about the pledge, making sure that y'all pledge with your time and your talent to support Bob, and whomever the powers that be was trying to make sure it didn't happen, right? But we're going to make sure we do that pledge and we support our Bobs out there, either with our time, our talent, and of course, our resources. And sharing and subscribing is a way of supporting Bob. That's just a click away that you can do. You click for yourself and then you share with others, right? Okay, so let's go on right into our show and get into this conversation. On tonight's show, I am extremely honored to be having a conversation with the phenomenal Kiarra Chapman of Ascension with Poise Healing LLC. Hi, how are you, my darling? How you doing?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Now, on your side, what happened? Did it just go blank? I don't know what happened.
You froze for a good like 3 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. That's going to be interesting to see the replay. I'm just stopped.
yeah,
Okay. Hopefully, my mouth wasn't like wide open. You always get the crazy stops.
yeah.
But Kiarra, oh my God, we are so honored to have you back. Those of you who have watched us consistently know that she did a pop in on an episode that we had with Mona Lisa a few weeks or so ago. And so we told you we were going to be having her as our own featured guest so that you could connect with her and get to know her a little bit more intimately. So, Kiarra, I'm not going to behold the time and I'm going to pass the baton to you. Please let us know a little bit about you, what you do, and then why you do what you do.
Okay. All right. So, my name is Kiarra Chapman. I am the owner of Ascension with Poise Healing LLC. It's a holistic healing company where I use Reiki, meditation, and mindfulness life coaching to help my clients heal their inner child and find forgiveness in themselves and others.
Mm,
Yeah.
awesome. So Kiarra, please let us know then that's definitely a mouthful, and we're going to dissect it
Yeah.
apart. Um, First and foremost, why? Why did you get into this? What's that why? Give us a deeper understanding of what led you down this path.
Yes. So, um, I think it pretty much started when I was pregnant with my daughter. Um, I was going through a very difficult time, and after having her, I was going through. Before having her, I was actually I had dealt with depression and anxiety, but after having my daughter, that was kind of like amplified because of postpartum, and I didn't really know what it was until, afterthought. But I just got to a point where I was just like, no more. I didn't want to feel the way I was feeling anymore. Um, and I literally said, I don't want to be depressed anymore. So I started to um, look into ways to see if it's even possible to heal depression or anxiety. And and I learned a lot about myself while doing that research. Finding out that I'm a natural healer, and I also use crystal healing as well. So I was really drawn to Reiki because it's natural, and I didn't want to go, take medication
Mhm.
and go that route. So the more that I learned about how to protect my energy and my knowledge on uh, the importance of and knowing others well, uh, I feel like that gave me a lot. And it's a lot to explain. I'm probably
Mhm.
not explaining it well enough. It's like you have to experience it to actually know what I'm talking about.
Well, see, here's the thing. You're explaining it exactly the way it needs to be explained. It is your story. No one else can. I mean, everyone's story is just their story. So you're telling us exactly, how you got to where you're at and your why. But
Yeah.
my question is you mentioned depression and you mentioned postpartum depression. How long was it before you kind of even identified what you were experiencing to the time frame when you began to research what you can do about it naturally?
Um, it probably took me about a year, I'm gonna say.
Mm,
But on top of that, I was also dealing with uh, trying to forgive or think people or about childhood trauma that I've gone.
mm,
And
yeah.
after having my own child and like watching her grow up, a lot of things triggered me because of my childhood trauma,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sexual abuse, and um, not really having anything done about it until 23, 24, 25 years later. Um, and also understanding that it might be a journey I have to go alone. Um, but my why is definitely so that I don't pass on this trauma to my daughter and my cycle to her and my future.
Wow. And that is amazing in and of itself. Kiara, just to be honest, because we hear the term all the time, generational curses or things going from generation to generation to generation. And it does take awareness, and then it takes the strength to actually do what's necessary, the work in order to address and heal from it, and then consciously work towards breaking the cycle. And for you, you have like taken the time to do just that. So I'm gonna give you a round of applause just for that in of itself.
Thank
But
you.
but then you're taking your story and you turned it into an actual opportunity to continue self-healing, but also to share that healing with others. Now, you mentioned a couple of terminology, and this is your world. So I'm here to make sure I shed a light on certain terminology that other people may not connect to. Okay.
Okay.
So tell me and others Reiki. Am I saying that right? Reiki.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Define Reiki for us.
Okay. So Reiki, it's a Japanese term. It's of Japanese descent. It means Rei means universal, and Ki is life force energy. So this life force energy flows through me, through you, through everything, even that's in our universe.
Mhm.
Um, so with Reiki, it's believed that the Reiki practitioner is the channel of that energy and helps clear what's called chakra. Everyone has a chakra points in the middle of their body. So it's basically energy points, that different energy points in your body that the practitioner will focus on to help you clear out any stagnant energy that may be keeping you from basically healing and moving forward in your life. You would be surprised how much energy affects. Like you can just walk down the street and some you may, pass somebody, and depending on, their mood,
Right.
how that affects you. Like,
Exactly. I,
so
I know. I've said, have you either side, either you're in a room and you guys are laughing and da da da, then someone walks in and the whole energy kind of go whoosh, gets sucked out because someone comes in and they start spilling all of this negative and what they're going through, and next thing you know, your happiness just go gets sucked away. Or and I always say, it always to me seems the negative is easier to outweigh the good. It
yeah.
seems like if you're in a room full of negative people and you come in with your happy, happy go lucky, it's harder to give them your happy, happy go lucky.
Yep. And then they want to take it and then turn it into something that it's not. And then you leave the situation drained and feeling like, okay, maybe I shouldn't, it really
Right.
you negatively. There was something I read where negativity, one negative phrase can overpower 16 good compliments that you've gotten. Like one thing can like ruin 16 other positive things.
Wow.
So
Wow. So be very conscious of that. And we're gonna put a pin in there for a second
yeah.
because we're gonna say then our next segment is being presented by one of our featured businesses. It is Boss Entertainment Group, who is offering our consumer members 10% off. If you want to get to know more about Boss Entertainment Group, you can see our most recent conversation with them that was on December the 7th of 2022. We want to congratulate all of the Boss Approved events that happened this past weekend. We had King Mellow Man on July 22nd that performed. We had on July 22nd Detroit Saga Reggae. And then on July 22nd and the 23rd, we have Roots Vibration performing. We thank them so much for the amazing calypso and Caribbean and all that live vibe that they bring to us in the various aspects throughout our metropolitan area. And then we want you to take a pen and pencil and jot down this information real quick to remind you of the upcoming JEL, that's Johnny Lawrence Summer Jazz Series, is still going live in effect. And on July the 28th, on Friday, they will have Alex Bugan. Yes. And remember, parking is just $5. And all you have to do is visit the Ford Lake Park in Ypsilanti, Michigan. All righty. So I said we were going to put a plug in it because in agreement to you, I know that has to be true, because there's also a study that has said like it uses more muscles to frown than it is to smile. It just seems like there's so much more that negativity does and lingers on, and it's just like, misery loves company, all of these crazy things where that energy is, it seems stronger. And so for you to take a advocate approach in order to combat that is another applause well deserved. I'm telling you. I mean, we learned in physics what to say, energy doesn't disappear, it just transfers, right?
Exactly. And even with negativity, the thing about it is sometimes it's conscious and sometimes it's unconscious. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's very important to understand and recognize what your energy is, so that you don't let others affect you, no matter what the situation is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So kind of goes right into I know this looks like for us from Juneteenth, and I'm a Juneteenth advocate. Wish you were a little bit closer so I could have actually, came to this event. But
Yeah.
here it is. You have Reiki and sound healing that you were a part of this amazing event. So tell us, exactly what you do when it comes to events and you're doing sound healing. What is sound healing? And then, of course, then lead right into, I'm thinking this is some of your amazing products that they're showing. Okay,
Yes.
great. So yeah, share with us what exactly do you do with sound healing, and then what's the importance of your jury line?
So at the events, I'll start with the sound healing. I have a sound bowl, um, and I guess I can give you an example. So if you never seen a sound bowl, this is what a sound bowl looks like. Um, and I just basically I use the stick um, to hit the bowl, and it emanates a sound um, that basically like helps you focus
Mm-hmm.
while you're in your meditative state. Um, and sound healing, it's it's like it's like a certain frequency that emanates
Mm.
from the sound bowl. So when it hits your ears and goes into your body and in your auric field, basically it it those waves help balance yours
Gotcha.
out the negative or anything that's not yours out of your system.
Gotcha. Now I'm gonna share with the audience. I have had the pleasure of having sound frequency. Um, Now what was interesting, it was first introduced to me through a friend. And I was like, how in the world are you just how this energy to do all these kind of things? Now, of course, he said, because I nap. But then he was like, you need to sleep to frequency. It'll help you, he said, just go on YouTube, do some frequency. So that was really kind of like my first introduction. But OMG, when I actually was introduced it I say face to face, meaning in the same room that someone was actually doing it, it's a totally different experience.
Oh yeah.
Because you do feel the vibrations, you do feel it kind of coming to you. And I was like, I was only disappointed because I was in an upright position. I was in a group with people.
Oh
I said I needed to be laying down
yeah.
because I literally was so relaxed. It got me to the point where you could like every little part of you could just be like lifeless, almost like floating. And I said, I just wish I could have just been like laid down. And I mean, it energized me so much that we actually have sound frequency in my mother's practice at Tranquility Christian Counseling, and it does allow for you to get into that state where you can really get into a meditative state when you hear the different sounds and allow for that frequency to penetrate you.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I am definitely a fan of it. Now, tell me then the the jewelry again. That
Yeah.
just looked phenomenal. What
Thank you.
if you said crystals, right?
Yes, yes. So the crystals, I'll give you another example. Um, right here, a rose quartz crystal. This is pretty universal. A lot of people may have seen it or heard of it. It's pink. I don't know if you guys can really tell, but it's a pink crystal stone. It basically, all crystals have like their own healing properties to them, that can help you along your healing journey. So for example, the rose quartz crystal is the crystal of unconditional love. So it
Mm,
basically helps with your heart chakra. It helps you give yourself love and also receive it from others as well as give it to others, unconditionally, you know. Um,
okay, so then is it a belief that then the crystals emit energy then?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you see people with a crystal on, it's for them to not only receive but also to emit that energy.
Correct.
Okay,
Depending what the properties are for each stone. Yeah.
gotcha. So outside of then the love, which are some other common ones?
Um, clear quartz, the as everyone saw in the picture, clear quartz is very popular quartz. Um, clear quartz basically is actually the most powerful, one of the most powerful, I would say,
Okay.
because that's one of the crystals that, or maybe the only one that I know of that you can put your own intention into. So basically, if you wanted it to emit unconditional love, or you want to bring more love into your life, you would meditate with the crystal and put that intention into it. Or if you want to keep negativity away, you would do the same with that. It's basically all in intention, with
Okay.
one of the crystals, really. But um, and clear quartz also is one of the crystals that you can cleanse other crystals with, because it naturally cleanses your energy of negativity on a regular basis, and it helps you transmute the energy into something more positive.
Okay, awesome. Now I'm gonna be honest. My little twisted mind came in because I know it's some twisted people in the world.
Oh
So
yeah.
when you said that you can kind of, you know, put what energy you want into it, does that include what we were talking about earlier, the negative energy, or is it only able to house positive energy?
Now that is actually a good question. Um, Now honestly, anything is possible, and I personally don't put anything past anybody. Um, but with because of I'll say no. Well, the simple question is yes. Yeah. The simple answer is yes. That is possible.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
gotta
So
use your.
this is why I do what I do and I ask what I ask for educational purposes,
Oh,
because people, I want you to then be aware and do your research. You know, this should conversation should get you, wanting to reach out to Kiarra and knowing more about the information. And if you can't readily, get in touch with her, which we're going to be providing how you can do so, make sure you educate yourselves. Because I asked that question and it just came to my heart, because make sure that just because I'm out and I see it and I watch this segment and I'm like, well, let me get this. I don't know that person who might have this display up, and I don't know what their intents might be. So that's why I asked what I asked.
Yeah, that- that's very valid, because honestly, you can't buy things from anybody, especially anything spiritual. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Definitely use your discernment and your own intuition. Everybody has their own intuition and discernment.
Mm-hmm.
So if you feel that you shouldn't buy something from somebody, even if you feel like you shouldn't even buy something from me, follow your intuition, because there's a reason for it.
I totally agree. Now, this is a part where I always like to share. So again, I mentioned earlier we had a peek of Kiarra in a segment with Mona. Lisa, you guys know Mona is a frequent guest here. We love Mona and the support that she offers our platform. And so, she kicked off her mom and a dadpreneur tour. And I believe Kiarra was very influential in connecting her to that mompreneur in your state, correct?
Yeah,
And so everyone knows, where exactly are you from?
I am from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay, yes, that's right. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And so, speaking of Mona, we're going to have an opportunity to take this time, as she is one of our consumer businesses and she's offering our consumer members 15% off event packaging. We are definitely congratulating her on her most recent tour to Chicago, where she was able to honor a mom and a dadpreneur owner that have a joint business, which was Chicagoland Popcorn. And we just thank you, Mona, for the work you're doing. We're giving you a congratulations, because she is officially announced being a new segment on WRJR Media, where she will have her own podcast coming out. So make sure you take the time to download that app, which is a free app in your app store, either on Google Play or in your iPhone store. And if you want to know more about Mona, which you should, then listen to our most recent segment on Wednesday from June the 10th of this year, 2023. So, yes, we have had the opportunity then to be connected to someone who's doing amazing work in the community. So, that's why when she connected me, I know that you are doing amazing work in Pittsburgh. And because of that, share about this event.
Oh yes. So this is actually my first solo art painting exhibit. So I'm also a painter. So
Look at
um,
them hats.
I wear many hats. um, but yeah, so basically this Saturday is going to be my first art exhibit. Um, I am also going to have jewelry as well for sale from 2 to 6. And basically it's just it's the debut of my I guess it's my first art collection. I'm a abstract pour painter. So I do abstract painting, and I incorporated so with Reiki there's symbols that we learn uh basically to use to help amplify the healing. And
Okay.
I mixed that with my paintings. So I have like the symbols on the painting. So that way, with whatever, whichever the symbol, the meaning of the symbol is, it'll bring that energy into that person's home or space wherever they put that painting.
Got you, got you.
Yeah.
So when someone is looking then at your art and they're not familiar with the symbols, is there any information that they get with it to know what that meaning is?
Yes, yes, I do have I'll have cards and information cards. And then I'll also be speaking about it at the event as well,
Mm.
explaining um so that, if they have whatever questions that people have, they can definitely answer. I'm an open book. So
Well,
uh,
I had to ask that because I was intrigued one year. I remember this by a carving, and I just am fascinated. If you come through my home, I got a lot of African type inspired art and pieces and masks and different things. So then I got intrigued by this, and I'm like, okay, so share with me. If I didn't ask that question, found out it was a fertility thing. I'm like, oh Lord, have mercy. Thank you. No, no, thank you. I we not entering this into the house. No, no. So it just made me want to make sure
yeah, about it is too, like sometimes the meanings, like um like in your case, fertility, it doesn't always have to mean like babies. It can mean fertility in like growing a business, or put or just something, growth in a new idea or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, but I wasn't risking it.
Oh, I and yes, I did.
But so share then. Okay, here's the question: the chicken before the egg. Okay, we get into the painting. What did you do painting first, or did the painting come afterwards?
the I've always dabbled in a lot of creative things.
Mm-hmm.
So like even in like high school, basically everything I'm doing now is what I was doing then. Like
Oh,
making
okay.
free, doodling, like making different. Uh, I wasn't really that much into art then, but I originally started painting for therapy for myself,
Yeah.
to find different outlets to meditate instead of just sitting in one spot, because meditation is not easy. And
No,
like the healing journey is not easy either. You'll
no.
It's not. And so with that being said, there's more than one way to meditate, so I use it as that for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that you say that. Um, I know for a lot of creatives, it can be somewhat more difficult to get to a point where they're able to do what you've done, because they're sensitive, I feel, to more of those energies, and you feel it and you carry it more so when you are creative. And so to have various different outlets that you can utilize to help you get to where you need to go makes perfect sense. And so you said like abstract. So for those who are not creatives, kind of define your take on abstract.
um I would say without form, or not. It's not a
Well, as it pertains to your particular art, because
okay.
a lot of people think abstract like you can have a person, but they might be blocks, and they will call that abstract for
Got
them. They do like block art. Or so for your art, when you're saying abstract, what how would you define it if that makes more sense?
Yeah, yeah. It's more so so it's pour paint, so it's more so flow art. So like I basically just pour the paint on the canvas and move it around to let it do what it does pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. That's exactly what I okay.
yeah,
So it's kind of when I see people in different colors and it kind of may roll and then kind of go back and all
yeah,
that kind of different thing.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. Okay. So the flow of the at will. I like
yeah.
that. So how do you get the symbols parts into the painting then?
So I sketch them and I use mixed media. So basically, along with the abstract paint or the pour paint, I use what is it called? Hot glue. I use a hot gun to basically outline it to give that 3D effect to bring out the design because it's not
Okay.
symbols too. Like I do have like I have a tree um uh piece that I did. There's one with like bluebirds that I did. Um,
Oh.
so it's different things. It's not just the symbols. But yeah, there. I just thought, just was thinking outside of the box, pretty much.
Sounds like it. Very creative. Very creative. Now we're going to take a moment. We want you to grab your pencils because we got another amazing event coming up that you need to stay connected with. So it is Church, a Whisper radio experience that is hosted by Chaos, aka Whisper, Breezy Brown, and Brandy Blaze. You're going to listen live on this Saturday at 7 p.m. And I, yours truly, am the special guest. So I got a shameless plug. Make sure you mark your calendars and put it in your phone for an alarm so that you won't miss whatever might come up in this conversation. I am so excited to be a part of it and want you too to join the conversation. So, okay, Kiarra, I am just, I guess I'm almost speechless, but with everything, because we have, a traumatic past that you are moving towards in healing. We found out that you're a mom. You do amazing work for the community and helping them heal. What keeps you encouraged to keep going?
God, uh, that's where I get my strength from. Because otherwise, I would probably not be here. To be honest. Um,
Wow. Yeah. I definitely would agree with that. I can't even say anything differently.
I
um
to say how I to explain it is, I
yeah.
just because before having my daughter, I didn't have a relationship with God, and I've after building the relationship with him and like looking back, I learned or I observed the difference how things can happen for me if I include him and
Yeah.
and be grateful the fact that he got me through those things.
Right. Yeah. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. So, with your totality of your work that you do, how many years have you been doing or Ascension? Uh, when was it started? How long have you been doing it?
I started it. Um, I established it in 2020.
Okay.
Well, no, I was certified as a Reiki practitioner in November of 20 or August of 2020. I established my business officially January of 2021. Um,
Okay.
but I've been technically doing the work altogether for 3 years.
Okay. So, in that time span, you've had clients, I'm sure. Out of that, can you share, one or two testimonies that resonate with you and and the reason, why. Because I know sometimes it is, of course, outside of God, but sometimes it's the people whose lives we impact that also gives us what we need to keep going.
Yes. I would have to say I did an event on Father's Day.
Mm.
Um and I did a couple Reiki sessions there. And there was a particular young lady um who was interested in a session. And that was my first time meeting her. Um and I could see I look after the session or during the session, I could feel and sense that we went through similar emotional trauma. And
Mm.
um me seeing the strength in her, for her to like be there, to be like put a smile on her face and
Mm.
still show up. Like she's a yoga instructor, um and she does breath work as well. And we actually did a meditation, like a breath work meditation first, with her before we did our session. So um, I felt like um, it was very needed. It was
Mm.
for both of us. Like the conversation that we have, because of course I keep things confidential, but the conversations I have with my clients after the sessions, they are um, the most, I would say, reassuring
Mm.
and motivating for me, as it just goes to show me that that it is real. Like what I'm doing is actually helping people,
Right.
and and two, that there are people who actually want to heal and just may not know how to.
Yeah.
That I'm creating a safe space for them.
Right.
My
Right.
I feel like it motivates me to continue to keep going so that those people can.
Love it. Love it. And as we talk about healing, our last segment is being brought to us by Tranquility Christian Counseling, offering our consumer members 10% off their events. And some of their most recent events, they've had a coffee and conversation discussing unity in action, what you can do to make impact, and then their lunch and learn series, where they reminded you how to become your own personal GPS to chart for the goals that you desire. The upcoming event is a 2-week summer camp from August the 14th through the 25th. The cost is $399 and it is for ages 12 through 15. Then I want you to support our featured nonprofit for tonight's show, which is Unity, and they are having a fundraiser to raise money for their programs and community outreach, such as their youth bowling club and honor roll pop program with the popcorn people, pop poppin' popcorn. Woo, that was a mouthful. Pop poppin' popcorn.
I was thinking that.
One thing I also want the people locally in Pittsburgh to know, you have an upcoming event also happening on July the 30th that you are part of. Is this true?
Yes, yes. I will actually be leading a guided meditation, a group guided meditation and sound bowl experience. Um, and it is a free event as well. So definitely RSVP. Their phone number on there to contact who to save your spot if you would like to come. There are limited spots.
Awesome, awesome. What I would like people to know is that um when this is really, it says free, which is great, but it is so needed. It is, when I talk about the importance of self-care, this definitely falls under the umbrella of self-care. I just try to give my testimony. You definitely should be in attendance, especially if you never experienced. It is a way that we don't pause. You know, it's almost like we're in this country that keeps you going every single minute of the day. Go, 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 go. And then you wonder why you feel like you're going down, 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 down. Because we were designed to rest. We were designed to take time, to be silent. There's so much noise constantly around us. So please, please take an opportunity if you are in the Pittsburgh area to support the event and your painting event as well, right?
Yeah.
So it is tea time. Is there anything else though that's on the horizon that we haven't already discussed?
So I do have an announcement. So recently, as of earlier this month, actually, my jewelry, I had my first bulk order with the Carnegie History Museum.
Oh,
Jewelry is now being sold out of their gift shop.
that is some amazing tea. Thank you for spilling it. So where is this located?
In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Yeah, so if I don't know if you're local, but if you're not, and you're visiting, it would be in the what is that considered? I think it's considered Squirrel Hill area. But if you Google it, Carnegie Natural History Museum, you'll find that.
awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, we have a couple more things that we want you to pencil down in addition to what the tea that was just spilled for the Carnegie Natural Museum, right?
Natural history.
Natural History Museum, where you can get her
Yes.
phenomenal jewelry at. We want you to support these all other amazing events, and that will be presented by Divalicious Entertainment LLC. Presents a wine and pamper edition. Holiday Inn Express is where you can go, where you can get wine tasting, massages, that's that self-care, facials, makeup, and they are offering a raffle for a trip for two to Vegas. Okay, this is happening on Saturday, August the 5th from 12 to 4 p.m. And then also happening on Saturday, August the 5th, as we talked about in the beginning, is Access Identity Conference: Ideas, Impact, and Influence. This conference host is Dr. Eddie Connor. And if you have not already done so, make sure you register today at www.accessidentity.org. And let us support you and your event by adding it to our Stay Connected segment. Just visit www.dealswithbob.com and contact us today. So, some of my final questions for you.
Okay.
I am just a huge fan of literacy and the sheer power that knowledge can bring. You know, first you got to gain the knowledge, then you got to apply it. So, one way of gaining knowledge is through reading. So, please let us know what book is currently on your nightstand or that you've recently read or would highly recommend reading.
Um, I think it was as you see, I have quite a few.
I see.
I know I haven't read all of them, but I'm into I'm trying to think of the name of the book, but it's actually this. I'm still on the same book that I mentioned last time. It's what, what is it called? I think it's called it's about finances and how to build wealth, generational wealth. Um,
Okay.
how to get your finances in order. Basically, I totally forgot it. I'm gonna have to like,
You're going to have to add it to the comments on the
yeah,
post.
yeah, that- because I can't name and I don't want to go get it.
That's perfectly okay. What I will say is any book that helps address financial literacy, that helps break poverty
Yes.
over generations, that helps establish financial wealth over generations is always a must read. But remember, you can't just read it. You have to apply the knowledge in order to unlock the power. So, is there well, before we get to that, how can we connect to you? I know, okay, people, where I'm at, we're in Michigan, but we are in the age of the, wide world web and all these different things and shipping and FedEx and all of that. So just because her jewelry, which is a huge win, is in the historical museum, if I'm saying it right, historic museum,
Yeah.
if you are here in Michigan or any other state outside of Pennsylvania, you definitely can get a piece of jewelry or two, right?
Oh yeah.
How would they connect with you in order to do so? Or a piece of art or whatever the case may be? How would they connect with you?
Yes. So you can actually contact me on my website. I do have a website. It's www.awphealingllc.com. And then I do have like a section you can send me an email through my website if you have any questions about anything. Um, and then also my Instagram, because I'm I'm also a singer songwriter, so
Another
I
hat.
I do perform in my city as well. So if you want to follow that along with like posting current projects that I'm working on, um, you can follow me on my Instagram or my music Instagram at official underscore K dot MELODI. And then my healing business Instagram is AWP Healing LLC.
Gotcha. And if you didn't get all of that, we will be making sure that she gets onto our platform that deals with Bob so that you know that's our one stop shop for all of our amazing Bobs that you can connect to. Kiara, we talked about quite a few things, and we definitely have to have you back because you just gave us a little bomb thing at the end. We didn't even know you did. So, but is there anything that we didn't touch on that you absolutely want to share on tonight's episode?
Um, no, I think that's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So, guys, make sure you take yours down. There will not be a show next Wednesday. Make sure you make a note of that. No show next Wednesday, August 2nd. I will be vacationing with the fam. Yes. But here we go. We're right back kicking August strong. So on August the 9th, we'll be speaking with Lisa Underwood. And then on August the 16th, we're going to speak with Chef Jacob uh, Guten or Gutton. If I'm saying your last name wrong, I apologize. And then on August the 23rd, we're going to be speaking with Philomena Gualafupe. Now, I know I probably murdered that one. I'm sorry. And ending the month of August on August 30th with Ishmael Terry. So we have an amazing lineup of conversations for you happening in August. And if you have not already done so, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel today. You would go right over to Deals with Bob and you click on that red subscribe button. While you're there, click on that little notification bell so that you get notified of every single time we go live. Well, Kiarra, I want to thank you again for an absolutely phenomenal conversation, and most importantly, for all the work you do and continue to do for healing for yourself and healing for others. And most importantly, to break generational curses, which what came out in our conversation today. You are definitely in my prayers, and I keep you encouraged.
Thank you.
Now, all of you guys that are watching today, I thank you for tuning in. Make sure you share this episode with someone else, because I'm sure something was said that will inspire someone else. And as always, I am Sonia M. Weaver, and I encourage you to spend with purpose, because your dollar does matter, and deal with Bob. Have an amazing week. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.